What's up, everyone? Lance Hedrick here, and we are sitting in the Foreman Bar just above Onyx Coffee Lab in Rogers, Arkansas. And today we have a special guest, Morgan Eckroth.
Hi, my name is Morgan, and I am a barista, but I'm also an online content creator. I go by Morgan Drinks Coffee, and I kind of talk about everything coffee, from education to the ins and outs and the funny and weird parts about being a barista.
Morgan does a lot of skits that they will act out by themselves in a cafe, acting as customer, barista, and goes over kind of some of those interactions that go on that baristas experience on the daily. It's really cool. Check it out if you haven't already. I'm sure you have, though, so let's continue. So, Morgan, could you tell me, what are you doing in Arkansas?
That's a great question. I am actually here because this year I'm competing in the United States Barista Championship, which is an awesome competition. I've done a couple years ago, but it's been a quick second since I've done it. But this year I am super excited to be serving Onyx Coffee in my presentation. So I'm here today, and for a couple days we are doing basically like a coffee boot camp. We are training, we are tasting coffees, we're doing all the things.
Well, what are you, I guess, most nervous about, and what are you most excited about referring to the competition?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I'm more excited than I am nervous. This
good.
competition is something that is super, super exciting. It's really, really fun, and I think the thing that I'm most excited about overall is honestly the process of getting to that final stage. There's a lot of work that goes into this competition. It's a 15-minute presentation where you're serving 3 courses to your judges: a espresso course, milk course, then a signature beverage. So a lot of drink planning, a lot of tasting, a lot of scripting, and all of that is so much fun because at the end of the day, I mean, I come out of it with so much more information and knowledge than I went into it with. So that's really exciting. As far as like nerves, I think honestly the scariest part about it is really getting up on that stage day of, and you've kind of got one shot at this. You come in with all this information. Everything is very, very planned, and so you kind of come into it hoping that you've got it down, or if you don't have it down, you have the skills to kind of be flexible and switch it up and be able to like play off any mistakes you make in the moment. So that's the nerve-wracking part of it all, is the performance.
Oh, for sure. And you've been doing something really interesting this year, unprecedented, which you have been vlogging or kind of recording your progress going up to the United States Barista Championship, which no one has ever really done. There's this kind of unspoken rule of secrecy that shrouds the competition, where people don't want to show others the coffee they're using, the recipes they're doing, the signature beverage, but you're planning on doing something completely differently.
Pretty much the opposite.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is, you've decided to partner up with Onyx, us at Onyx, and one of our biggest platforms is transparency in all things, with transparency on pricing, transparency on wages of employees, transparency on even how we roast. You can look at the roast profiles of any coffee you get with the batch number on the bottom. So could you tell me about the decision to go in this direction, why you're wanting to be fully transparent with everything, and what you think this will affect in the long run?
Yeah, absolutely. So this was a decision that this was kind of a series. This series of videos chronicling this journey was something that I've wanted to do for frankly a while. I didn't know if I was going to get into the competition this year, so if I didn't do it this year, I would have definitely done it again in the future. But kind of what got me started in wanting to chronicle this was the fact that when I did this for the first time in 2019, I was a pretty fresh barista. I'd been a barista, I think, for like a year and a half at that point. I had only really done throwdown, so this was something very, very new to me. I had some coaches that were helping me at the time, but for the most part, it was just me watching old routines and trying to piece together between those and the rule books what I was supposed to be doing, which was very scary and a lot of trial and error. So my hope throughout this is that I can create something that would have been helpful for me back in 2019. Essentially, I want to, for any baristas that are thinking of competing or wanting to compete, if they are lacking that very necessary like guidance and coaching throughout this process, I want to leave them with at least, not do this exactly, because everyone's process is very, very different, but at least, a starting point, or at least this is how I did it. Perhaps this can be helpful in figuring out your own process. So that's something that is really important to me, and I am privileged enough to have this like platform of people that for some reason watch what I do. So it was kind of the perfect storm of like perhaps I can continue to spark interest in the competition, or at the very least, my audience will come out of it knowing a lot more about coffee than they probably ever wanted to know.
Yeah, it's like a perfect situation because it's an exact extension of your already existing platform where you're giving background to what baristas deal with on the daily, and what you're doing here is you're giving background to what this whole routine is.
Yeah.
So instead of kind of like covering it in this mysterious veil, you are opening up the curtain so people can see the proverbial man behind the curtain.
Yeah,
right?
and essentially, at the end of the day, when this competition happens, it's always live streamed. And so inherently, there'll be people who want to watch it and want to see it, and I want them to know what's actually going on, because watching these routines without really any prior knowledge of what the competitors are saying or what the judges are experiencing, it can be a little overwhelming. This is like pretty high level when it comes to, I mean, arguably it's like one of the highest levels when it comes to coffee. So if I can set people up for even success in watching these routines and understanding these coffees and topics, that's a win in my book.
Absolutely. Now, the final question, how was it getting some training with the queen, Andrea Allen?
An honor. Oh my word. It was probably one of the coolest things. I've been doing coffee for like, I think going on 5 years now, so not a super long time. And I still feel very fresh. I still feel very new. I have so much left to learn. There's so much I want to learn. And the fact that I'm here and working with the people I'm working with and getting coaching and advice from the people I'm getting with is really astounding. Like, it's an honor, it's a privilege. I'm crazy excited to be repping Onyx on the stage. I think it's going to be a fantastic time. And we've got some really tasty stuff to do.
We are very excited to have you representing us. Excited to be coaching you. But yeah, and for you all who don't know, Andrea won the United States Barista Champion in 2020, so she is still the reigning champion and just got runner-up at the World Championships in Milan. But yeah, it's going to be a team effort. We're all excited to be supporting Morgan, and hope that you follow along with their video vlogs. That was redundant. Their video blogs or vlogs. So follow along there to check out kind of some of the behind the scenes, the BTS. I just learned that is a used acronym,
good lingo
right?
there. Yeah,
the BTS. So you can check that out on their socials, and follow along with us as well. So thanks for coming along. I hope you brewed something tasty today.
Until next time.
Cheers.